Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to Next Level Broadcasting's presentation of Charlevoix High School football. Shane Smith joined alongside of me tonight by Anthony Troshak, Rayders basketball varsity coach, as well as gym teacher phenom in the school. And we've got Ron Lugin behind our opening shot tonight. Emma Brown running the ones and twos behind us. And Burr Ari will be taking care of the main shot down there on the field. Anthony, we got a big game here tonight. Charlevoix taking on Cheboygan, two very respectable teams, very athletic teams. Charlevoix had some great athleticism last week. Colin Jess obviously did a bang-up job at quarterback. He was our Culver's Concrete Mixer Player of the Game award winner, but you also had great line performance by Andrew and Ryan Glass, Andrew Grogan, and Sawyer Blazik as well. And this Cheboygan team has plenty of athletes on their own. We were talking about a little bit in pregame. Some great basketball talent that'll translate well over here to the field with some speed and athleticism. What do you have so far for us tonight?
Yeah, I think like most games, it's going to be a battle up front.
Yeah.
And, you know, watching Cheboygan's week 1 against Sault Ste. Marie, they controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. You know, they held Sault Ste. Marie to 39 yards rushing and forced, I think, 3 or 4 turnovers. So our ability, the Raiders' ability to kind of, you know, sustain drives is going to be extremely important. And then defensively, we can't give up the big plays because Cheboygan hurt Sault Ste. Marie in a couple big plays last week, and, you know, they ended up taking it to them, and I think they won 19 or 18-7, and Sault Ste. Marie scored as basically time was expiring. So they really pitched a shutout. Their defense was pretty dominant. So our offense, you know, has to take care of the ball, own the line of scrimmage, and I think good things will happen for us.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to that. Again, just a few minutes away until kickoff, but one thing that I like to note, there's a lot of juniors on this team, and we saw that again, the sophomores last year from Cheboygan really stepping up big here. More juniors than there are seniors, and that's kind of the same thing for Charlevoix, too. A lot of sophomores, juniors on this squad. So both teams kind of young, figuring things out a little bit as the season begins off here. Charlevoix will have kind of an easier stretch after this game of some games, but then they load up for Bear with the likes of Boyne City and Kingsley to end the season. Yeah,
the schedule is favorable to early season. You know, Cheboygan's going to be a really good test for us, as USA was. They were a senior-dominant, you know, team, and playing a team that you're not familiar with, going on the road is always tough for that first game. So it was nice for our younger players to get out there, find some success, you know, and get the victory. And then, like you mentioned, after tonight, you know, there's a couple of games that we should get rolling and, you know, really kind of, you know, build our young guys up to, you know, have that confidence and have that improvement heading into those tough late games.
All right, sounds good. Well, that'll take care of it for us for our Ace Hardware, TBC Airport, and Bingham Insurance pregame show. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break and come back on the other side of this for your national anthem and get into some football action. Stay tuned.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, guys, here's what we get.
BC Pizza, BC Pizza, hometown handmade gourmet.
Coach, what do? We get BC Pizza.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Yeah, and welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to send it down to the field for our national anthem. All right, we'll welcome you back in here again. Props down on the field to the Charlevoix Raider Marching Band. Good, strong numbers down there on the field. Nice to see. Mr. Bronson, Jake Bronson that is, leading the program down there, really coming into his own after the last few years. Putting together a nice program. They've earned straight Division I ratings whenever they go compete, which is the best you can get at festivals and other performances around the area. So props to them for putting out a good performance, and we're excited to see them along, of course, Anthony, with our team the rest of this season.
Yeah, and you know why the band's so good, led by Mr. Bronson, right?
Why is that?
He's a Spartan.
There you
Michigan
go.
State grad,
Go
so
green.
There we go.
So, while we have a moment, anything, coming up with the basketball team? How are things looking? Have you guys started practice at all much? Or?
Oh, we just have, open gyms and some skill workouts. You can only work with 4 players this time of year, so that's kind of where we're at. We lost a lot with graduation and everything from last year, so it'll be definitely, a challenging year for us, but I think we'll be up for that challenge, and we'll show growth, and, we're going to play some tough teams.
Sure.
From the get-go. Petoskey's
our
opening game, and they're going to be better. They got a couple other players. They're going to be stacked. We have, Gaylord. We'll play Glen Lake, who's going to be phenomenal. Yes. We play North Muskegon, who also probably is going to be a top 10 in Division III this year. So, we're going to find our weaknesses early.
Sure. Well, great for you guys for testing things out here as we get underway with kickoff. Again, we want to thank Ace Hardware, TVC Airport, and Bingham Insurance for bringing you our pregame show. And the kickoff will bounce its way down to the 1, where it's fielded by Garrison Sterrett.
I think it was a fumble.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Cheboygan looks excited. We'll look for the official ruling from the refs
no
here.
fumble.
Okay. I think Raiders would have been better served letting that one bounce into the end zone.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Sitting back there at the 1, what do you do? And I think Gary made the right decision, just be aggressive and take it out. But
all right, so with that, the Raiders will begin. They did get past the 10-yard line, so they'll be getting right about the 13 of their own as we begin this game. Again, a good crew here tonight. We got Burari running our main shot. We got Ron Lugin down there on the sideline. Emma Brown running the 1s and 2s. Anthony Troshak and myself, Shane Smith, up here on the call. Early handoff, up the gut we go. And that'll gain a few yards as we inch our way closer towards the 20. And Ian Moran there on the carry.
Yeah, he's a strong runner. He was kind of the workhorse for us in game 1, especially when we needed to kind of burn the clock in the fourth quarter. It was just Ian Moran. And, also being a quarterback, we had that nice little halfback toss with him.
Yeah.
So that's always an option out there when you can hand it to him and he can throw it, and he threw a nice ball.
All right, so with that, we've got a 2nd and 6 scenario here. Good solid 4 yards on the opening play, again by Ian Moran. Full core of receivers out there on the field. Second play of the game will be a throw. That one will bounce off the ground, no good.
Got a little pressure, always, throwing out to the left's a little tougher. But the pressure's really, I don't think Colin really had his feet set on that one.
So we'll have a do-over here right at the 18-yard line. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Raiders. Looking to try and get some good momentum down the field before kicking this one off, if that comes. As Cheboygan, again, has a very stout line and a lot of athletes there. We're expecting this one to be a good scoring game between these two teams.
Starrett's been kind of our go-to receiver here in these situations. Oh, got a guy
Going for
open
the
wide
fake,
open
the
down the
throw
middle.
just in front of Ian
just
Moran.
outside. Man.
Not able to haul that one in, so the Raiders will be punting from their own 18.
If Ian catches that, it's a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. It was just in front of him. Slipped in front of his fingertips.
Just game of inches.
Yep, that's exactly right. So it'll be a tough kick here as the wind's blowing directly from the west, so there won't be a lot of help getting this ball down the field off a punt.
I think the Cheboygan sideline, Coach Nesbitt, are thankful for that one. They dodged a bullet there.
No doubt about it.
Ran back to kick. He had like a 70-yard kick.
Oh, it was insane.
It was crazy. I mean, it took a great bounce, but
this one not too
Miller.
bad. That was fielded just inside of Raider territory. Yes, indeed. Miller taking that one down inside the 35.
Miller's kind of their all-purpose back. He does a little bit of everything for him. He's got speed. He runs tough, and as you can see, he can put him back there on kick return, and he can do a little bit of everything for him. So we got to key in on number 4 in white tonight.
So this will be excellent field position to begin for Cheboygan. Again, inside the Raider 35, positioned at about the 34.5. And we'll see what the Chiefs have to begin this game. Again, like Anthony Troshak mentioned here just a few moments ago during our pregame show, they're able to pretty much pitch a shutout against Sault Ste. Marie for their season opener. As we roll out QB Nolan Schley, he's going to keep going, get inside to about the 5-yard line.
Schley with just, it's a QB read. They run that veer, and they were really dive heavy against Sault Ste. Marie, and I think our guys anticipated that dive, and, Noah made a good read, pulled it, and made a great gain.
So they're going to pull the spot back a little bit. It'll be at the 7-yard line. First and goal for the Chiefs from there. Only about a minute and a half chewed off the clock so far. 10:38 to be exact here in the first quarter. Ekdahl and Miller here in the backfield, ready to take this
There's
one.
the dive.
Ekdahl up the center.
He's a bruiser in there.
Yeah, he's a very stout gentleman down there indeed.
But we have some big guys of our own.
Oh,
led
yeah,
by
no doubt about
Sawyer inside and the AGs. We need to give him a nickname. I asked him, and he said the Twin Towers, Andrew Glass and Andrew Grogan.
That works
AG
for me.
squared. I don't know what we go with.
And it's amazing, I remember the Glass boys when they were 3rd, 4th graders. I went to school with their eldest brother, Will, and to see them growing into the young men they are and such stout presences here on this line. So it'll be another handoff to Ekdahl. He squeezes his way through the line, and there's the official signal, touchdown, Cheboygan.
Wow.
In about a minute and a half, Cheboygan goes about 35 yards down the field and knocks in the first score of the game. They go up 6-0.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you're Cheboygan, you're on the road. This is the start you want. You dodged a huge bullet by, you know, that incomplete on third down by Charlevoix. So this game could easily be, could have been 7 or 8-0 Charlevoix, you know, and then they would have had to drive the length of the field because, you know, the kickoff with Miller's return gave him pretty good field position.
No doubt. So we are going to see another kick here. That'll be Miller once again. They're going to go for the, well, all right.
I missed it. I was checking the roster. I don't
Yeah,
know if
me
it was
too.
a bad snap would have been my guess.
So it'd be, no, it was a fake, I guess. Yep. We're getting word from our producer, Emma Brown, Hawkeye, watching the field. It was indeed a fake. Mr. Troshak and I were both checking our rosters. That was Landon Gann, who ultimately ended up with the ball and got tackled well behind the initial line of scrimmage. So with that, the Chiefs go up on top 6-0. We are going to stay right here and thank one of our fine sponsors, and that'll be Bingham Insurance, who's one of our pregame sponsors. Running a small business can be risky, but one thing you can't leave to chance is your insurance coverage. Bingham Insurance wants to help keep you covered from the unexpected from happening. That's Bingham Insurance Company, representing Auto Owners Insurance of Charlevoix. All right. Well, Raiders have a little bit of work to do. For the first time this season, they find themselves down 6-0 after giving excellent field position to begin for the Chiefs. Raiders were not able to make it past the 20-yard line on their opening drive.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Shane.
Yeah.
Unionville Cheboygan last week in week 1, they did jump out on 6-0, right? The first drive, and we responded pretty well. Or were we down? I can't remember.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you're asking me. I was. You know what? You're probably right. Unionville Cheboygan probably did score, and then Charlevoix just piled on the gravy from there. Unfortunately, we have another little bit of trouble there picking that one up. Kalen Titus, he was able to get up to the almost the 30-yard line, though, so much better field position for the Raiders to begin.
You know, here, you know, Charlevoix, it's important to go out there to have a sustain a drive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first down is going to be important. We don't want to get behind the sticks here. And, you know, we got good field position. Seems to be some discussion between coach and the head official.
Let's see what that's about here in a moment. Well, whatever happened between the meeting of the minds must be worked out. Colin Jess comes out here with the marching orders, and away we go. 9:42 to go in the first quarter. Again, the Raiders down 6-0. Jess with Moran right behind him. And handoff here, not able to get much traction there. And that'll be Landon Whistler taking it for himself that time. A good tackle by Troy Wichlotz, and no gain there on the play for the Raiders. So far they've gained in the first 2 drives and first 5 plays about 7 yards.
Yeah, Cheboygan, one thing, you know, it's tough to tell against St. Marie, but their defense was pretty disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be well coached.
High
Jess
snap.
on the keeper.
Jess, yep, he's going to take that one. Gain maybe a yard as he gets up to about the 30. Slow start here for the Raiders. Chiefs firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball so far.
Yeah, up front, you know, we got to get a little more of a push, but we're young, so got to settle down, focus on our job, and I think we'll be all right here.
So we'll be 3rd and roughly 10 here to go. For what it's worth, this is the farthest the Raiders have made it down the field so far, and that was off the Kalen Titus kick reception there. Kick return, apologize. There's a good completion. Just able to grab it up between his legs was Talon Jacobs, and that'll be enough for a Raiders first down. Boy, he just hung on to that one.
caught that one about 3 times, and glad it finished in his hands. So great ball.
And
Good
that's
catch.
just what the Raiders needed to see a little bit of forward momentum, a play go their way, and see if they can build upon that as they're approaching midfield. 8:10 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. In shotgun we go. 1st and 10 at the 41. Jess going to get that one off to Garrison. Stair drops it, gets it back off the field. They're going to call that one dead. So 2nd and 10 once again from the Raiders. Not able to shorten up the yardage. Had a lot of long 2nd down scenarios so far.
Yeah, I do like the call. Be aggressive on 1st down. You know, we're throwing the ball pretty well. We've had some open receivers, so why not take advantage of it?
There we are. Cheboygan gets their down marker set. We'll have twins to the top and bottom this time. Jess fakes the throw, goes
open.
deep on this one. Talon Jacobs just over his head. Well, it looked nice. Just a hair overthrown. 2 big passes so far, overthrown by a little bit by Colin Jess. He tries to zero in his aim to begin this one.
Hey, he's still young, sophomore. He's a great quarterback.
Yep.
You know, good athlete. He's a tough kid, and he'll hit some big plays here later. I mean, I'm thinking of Arch Manning last week.
Oh, gosh, no doubt.
Heisman hopeful. Struggled. I think he had 37 yards passing going into the 4th quarter. So
Isaac Benz comes in to replace Carter Greenacre, who had some great plays last week as well. Another pass play. Jess rears for Ian Moran. Finds him. He's wide open. Crosses the 50, the 40. He just has one man to beat. Make that 2, and he'll be brought down inside the 20.
Great play call.
That's what the doctor ordered. The crowd gets a little more energetic after that one. So the Raiders will have the ball for the first time in Chiefs territory down at the 18. 7:37 to go in the first quarter. Couple of big 3rd down plays here to extend this drive for the Raiders.
Yeah, Ian's definitely a threat out of the backfield that a lot of teams probably aren't used to, with his ability to go out there, catch the ball, make some moves in space.
That'll be a handoff.
So Warchel.
Yep.
Nothing doing up front. 75? Who's 75? Those are David Chase making plays for the Chiefs.
You'd say Chase didn't have to do too much chasing on that one to get the tackle, that's for sure. So again, Raiders, for the 3rd time this drive, will have a 2nd and 10 scenario. At least they are within the 20-yard line this time of the Chiefs. See what Jess can draw up. Twins to the top and bottom. Warchal right next to him. 6:47 to go in the first quarter. He rears up for the throw, finds Jacobs once again. Won't be too much forward momentum, although he's staying on his feet. Good fight there, brought down by a number of Chiefs. There'll be no gain on that play.
Yeah, hit the little bubble screen, but wasn't much room for him to cut upfield. All right, it's going to bring up 3rd down, but it's probably 4-down territory. I don't know.
No doubt about it.
Peter Yonchelis, though, you know, he can kick the ball. He was 3 for 3 on extra points.
Yeah.
Against USA. So I don't know what his field goal range is. I'd have to ask him.
We'll radio down there and find that out. 3rd and 10. 6 flat to go in the first quarter. Again, Warchal next to him. Just with a lot of trouble, and he'll get wrapped up, sacked big time. We got Daniel Harkey on that one, as well as Evan Fredette.
Yeah, Cheboygan brought a little pressure. They knew it was a passing down, so they got to the quarterback. Colin didn't have him anywhere to go with the ball.
No. So Cheboygan led away a couple of big plays here against Charlevoix. It'll be 4th down and 20. The Raiders, of course, might as well go for it. You're right at the 30.
You know, I don't know what we have in our repertoire, but for 4th and 4th and, what did you say, 20?
4th and 20.
Maybe a screen pass. Oh, we got a legal formation or legal substitution. What do we got?
The false start called by Emma Brown, producer.
That's going to back us up even further.
And that's one thing, again, that this young team will have to work on throughout the season is a little discipline. We saw some big struggles last week. So that makes it 4th and 25 at the Cheboygan 35.
You know, I don't know if they'd bite on a halfback toss here if we threw it on, if we went to Ian and he threw it, but who knows? They're high school kids after all.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now 4th and Indian River here for Charlevoix to try and get this one. Yeah, and we've got another flag. See which side of the line this one's on. Looks to be against Charlevoix once again.
Just got to settle down.
Yep.
This guy's got some older guys out there. Just take the reins, take the leadership, and get these guys settled down.
So 2 straight false start penalties pushes the Raiders back 10 yards behind where Colin Jess ended up off that sack. So it's now 4th and 30. As if things couldn't have gotten much worse on this drive. Charlevoix still going to go for it. This is giving Cheboygan much better field position if they can't get something to go here. Jess is going to pitch it back to Ian Moran. He's going to pass it forward, and it's intercepted. And he's still working his way around, finally leveled at about the 32-yard line. Good interception there by Jeremiah Huntley.
Huntley's a playmaker on offense, too, and he makes his presence felt on defense.
Yeah.
You know, if he knocks it down, though, they only gain 10 yards on it. I don't blame the kid. He wants to patent the stats for the interception.
Oh, there you go. Well, if nothing else, it pushed the Chiefs 6 yards farther back than where the Raiders were initially at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, yep.
So that'll be right at the 34 of their own. Raiders chewed off about 5 minutes on the clock on that drive. So the Chiefs will have it back with 4:37 to go. And another almost early jump from the Raiders once again.
Great tackle there by Mr. Ryan Glass.
Yes, indeed. Killian Miller just not able to get anywhere on that one. No forward
Important
progress
for the Raiders
there,
to get a 3 and out here. You know, stop Cheboygan's momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Got one coming across in motion.
A little pitch here. Miller taking it for his own, gets absolutely wrapped up by a couple of different Raiders. Great job there. Grayson Warchall, one of the gentlemen on the tackle, as well as Doug Morgridge coming off the pile.
Yeah, they run that veer, so he, fake the dive, had the pitch. Man, I'm willing to bet they're gonna turn it over on one of those pitches tonight. Shane, what do you want to bet? Maybe a Gatorade? What do you got? Some pizza?
How about a Culver's concrete mixer, one of our official sponsors? I'll bet you that.
That's a deal.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, shake on it. There we are. So 3rd and 12 here. Loss of 2 for the Chiefs. The first time they've lost yardage on a play so far this game.
I don't see him out there, but 8's usually their go-to guy, Huntley. Ooh, they have 2 guys in motion, so that's going to be a flag.
Yep.
But
either way, it would have been a loss of yardage.
Glass coming through again.
So far, a young man down there at 55, showing what's up on the defensive line on this drive. Yep, there it is, the illegal shift. That is declined. So it'll be 4th and about 14 from the Cheboygan 30, and they'll, of course, kick it out with 3:08 to go in the first quarter.
Who do we have back deep? Ian's back deep.
Yeah. Good
Slide a kick.
Charlevoix wearing all of the safety helmets, about half and half on the Cheboygan side. Interesting there. That's a high snap fly, able to pick it up. It'll be a higher kick. And that'll hit right about the 44, bounce its way down. The Raiders are content to let that one stop at the 32, picked up by Cheboygan. So the best starting field position that they've had so far this game, they'll be at the 32. We will step aside for a brief moment and thank one of our fine sponsors. We'll thank.
As a small business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, the you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham &
And we're back in. There we go. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They mark the ball at about the 33, if my eyes are correct. So here we go. Jess with the handoff, and a whole pile of bodies ensue. I don't know if there was much more than a yard gained on that play.
Oh, Moran up the middle and met a wall.
Yeah.
I'm sure Boygan there.
That's a common theme tonight.
Yeah, the way this game is unfolding early, it's only the first quarter, but it might come down to, you know, who can not turn over the ball and who can make some big plays down the field, because drives seem to be stalling. Teams aren't sustaining those drives, kind of puttering out, so we'll see. Timeout, Charlevoix.
Yep. So we're going to take a second. We'll stay right here. Get a couple more of our live reads out of the way. First, we want to thank our longtime sponsor since the very beginning of Next Level Broadcasting, Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there when you need them to be, and so is our good friend Orion Beningo. And that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service and real-time quotes. But wait, there's more. There's always more. They'll actually answer your phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407, and tell them that we sent you. And we also will take a moment to thank Charlevoix State Bank. During a time of mergers, acquisitions, and name changes, the founders of Charlevoix State Bank saw a need for a truly local bank focused on our community and strong customer relationships. Those values continue to drive us today as we support high school athletics through our support of tonight's game. All right, a little more of the same so far to begin this drive. A wall met on the opening play, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for Charlevoix. Cheboygan letting almost nothing get through on the running side of things. With just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, again, Raiders down 6-0. Cheboygan scored on their opening drive, started within the Raider 40-yard line. The Raiders marched all the way down to the 18, then suffered a sack and 2 straight false start penalties to push them all the way back to the Cheboygan 40, and that's pretty much where that drive ended up. So as we come back into this one, there'll be full receiving core in shotgun formation. Jess rolling out. He's got a man behind him. Didn't see him coming. Squirts out the ball.
What do you say he's down?
Okay.
He was down.
So another scare here from the Raiders. Another potential turnover avoided. But amazingly, on that sack, but he right there still at the line of now. It looks like they're now backing up for about a yard loss. So it could have ended up much worse for the Raiders. Only lost a yard after all that. Colin Jess chased down again. You don't have eyes in the back of your head, unlike what your mothers would like you to believe. And got taken down. So it'll be Twins to the top and bottom.
Yeah, I think we got to see if we can go through the air a little. And that's what we were trying the last time, but they got some pressure. Oh, nice draw play.
There he is. He's
Colin's
got a
some
lot
running
of
room,
green
got a block
field.
out there.
And he'll be about a yard
Maybe
short,
a
so
yard
it'll be
short, yeah.
decision time here for the Raiders as he met by a couple of different Chiefs.
Where are they going to mark it?
Nolan Schley there. The QB for Chiefs also making a big tackle on his opposing QB. So it'll be...
And they're going to
it'll be enough. All right. By the nose of the football, they got it. So that's enough for a Raider first down. Crossed to about the 43-yard line. So Raiders continuing their drives on hope and prayer so far, the last 2 of them on 3rd downs.
Another great play call,
Yeah.
though. You know, third down, team's anticipating, throw. They're probably man coverage from what it looked like. So their backs are turned towards the quarterback, and Collins takes off running and picks up a first down.
And credit to that offensive lineman. They opened up a hole I could drive my Yukon through, and he was able to get that first down.
Ian's at quarterback, it looks like. Direct snap, but we have a false start.
That's the case. Number 3 on the night for Charlevoix in 2 drives. Yep. Tough way to begin the game for the Raiders. Just when they get some momentum going, a false start thrown their way. Now, thankfully, this was on first down and not fourth. This will be first and about 15 here, right from the Raider 38 we go. Just under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Got kind of a bunched look here, wildcat with Moran. I like it. Give him a different look, something we haven't shown on film. Take that back. Colin was just under center, my fault.
No worries. Well, another flag will be tossed, and a hard hit. This time, I think an unintentional hit to the helmet there as Colin just wrapped up and brought down, maybe after a yard of gain, depending on where this flag falls.
Looks like from the signal, I think it's going to be a holding against the Raiders.
Yes, indeed. As they back up and continue backing up for, the full 10 yards. Charlevoix shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, when the game starts like this, sometimes you try to do too much. And whether that's trying to make a little, extra on that block or you're just anxious, you just got to settle down. We got to settle down. And it's a one touchdown game right now.
So, first down and 25. No, I'm not mistaken. It is first down and 25. Back-to-back penalties, a false start, now a holding. It's the Raiders 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They'll be beginning now from their own 28 instead of the 43.
Man in motion. Colin's going to keep it. He's got a little room around the edge, but they're
just a little.
Good team speed in pursuit.
Still
over there.
up.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. He avoided probably at least 5 different tackles. Managed to get a little bit of gain on that.
His first contact was at least 5 yards before where he was finally brought down from.
So on a first down, a gain of about 2. Any other time we would be happy with considering the nature of this game, but it was first and 25. Now it'll be about second and 23. So a lot of field to chew up, but the Raiders will let this one go to the quarter break. So after 1 quarter of action, the Chiefs are up on top over the Raiders 6-0. We're going to step away for another commercial break and come back after this in about 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Grey Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan beers on tap and an excellent bourbon selection. Did you know we also cater? Let Grey Gables enhance your next event with our catering services.
Come dine with us at the Grey Gables Restaurant in Charlevoix the Beautiful.
And we're back in, ladies and gentlemen. So again, a second and a long way to go for the Raiders to try and get this one to the line again. It'll be second and roughly 22 or so. I have not updated the scoreboard officially.
Yeah, the second down, you just want to get it back to about the original line of scrimmage to make it third and manageable here. So see what we dial up.
Just more pressure coming, and he'll be wrapped up. Coming from out of nowhere, David Chase once again.
I'm willing to bet that's not what we dialed up at that huddle.
So, Raiders pushed back even farther. We're right about 3rd and 30, give or take. Again, they have not updated the scoreboard, so I'm just going off the sticks here as best I can.
I wish it was 3rd and 2.
Right,
That's
no
what
kidding.
The scoreboard reads.
So 3rd and roughly 30 from the Raider 28. Again, they started this drive at the 43.
Split out wide. Maybe take a shot. Let's stare it. Oh,
This will be a short,
pass.
yep, to Ian Moran. He gets by a few different tacklers, but it'll be nowhere near enough as he gets tackled just north of the 30-yard line.
And the challenge right now with our passing game is the pressure that they're applying on Collins. Who,
yeah,
you know, with us being behind the stick so much, by the time our receivers get down there, Collins, you know, he's got defenders in his face.
Good pass rush defense so far from this squad. We did see, I believe, a sack given up back in the Unionville-Cheboygan game, but nothing quite to the magnitude of this one so far from the Chiefs.
And the kick, he's a great kick. Great punter.
Oh, that's just
a
what we
beauty.
needed. Boots that one, lands at the 25, fielded
Miller
at just
does have
inside
some
the 20.
running room this way, but 3, who's number 3? Get out there. There you go. Make a play.
There we are. Whoa! Finally wrapped up by Grayson Warchall. Peter Yanchula started the contact.
Landon Winsler did a great job, too, of turning that run inside. Because if he doesn't, then he's up the sideline. He turned it into his help. Even though he didn't make the tackle, you know, he kind of forced that cut back, and that's where Grayson kind of finished him off.
Mm-hmm. So the Chiefs are right about the 40-yard line to begin. Raiders chewing off sizable amounts of time here on the clock, just not able to show anything for it. But still, after everything, only a one-score game.
I could go for a turnover. Do we have a sponsor for a turnover?
I don't think so this year. So if you know somebody, we'll take it. But there you go. Garrison Steer with a nice open field tackle.
The pitch out to Miller. Got a little bit of the edge. Picks up a decent game for the Chiefs on first down.
Yep. 2nd and 5 coming up right from the 45. Winds gusting to around 25, as much as 40 earlier on this afternoon. Pants of the ref still blowing around pretty well. And of course, that'll affect long passes and kicks.
Yeah,
but it has died down a bit. Go ahead.
Does not feel like, what is it, the first week in September?
I'm perfectly okay with it. This is prime football weather right here. Football time in northern Michigan. So here we are.
Right
Another handoff up the gut. Yes, indeed. That'll be enough for the first down and a couple more. Jack Ekdahl once again, the big man, carrying that one through. Grayson Warchall there got the tackle. Chiefs once again inching their way inside of Raider territory. Ball spotted right now at the 49.
Trying to give Cheboygan the announcer jinx. They have yet to have a false start or a hold or turn the ball over, right?
Yeah.
So
for any Cheboygan folks listening in. Yeah, another handoff. Gain of about a yard and a half there. Ekdahl once again toting the rock. Ryan Glass there again with another nice tackle. So far, probably the most consistent player that we've had so far in this game. 3 big tackles for him so far. Can we have that Culver's Concrete Mixer Play of the Game award to hand out at the end of this one? So keep that in mind, not only you, Mr. Troshak, but also our viewers watching at home. 2nd and 8, 8:15 to go in the first half. 6-0 ball game still. Chiefs methodically working their way down the field. Pitch, yep, indeed. Back over to Mason Johnson. He finds a little bit of room, maybe about a yard. Raiders sniff that one up pretty quickly.
yeah, you're not going to have a lot of success running out Ian Moran's way. He's physical. He's fast. He really sets the edge out there. Did a great job. Now it's going to bring up about 3rd and 8.
Yeah. So snuffed out any gain there. Ball spotted right where they began. Chiefs taking some time to think this one out. I don't recall them hitting third down territory too much so far in this game.
8 down on the bottom of the screen. I think he's kind of the receiver threat, so let's keep an eye on him this play.
Be Jeremiah Huntley there.
Oh,
No,
right up the
that'll
middle.
be a gain of about 3, and that'll be enough to bring out the 4th down stick. We'll see if the Chiefs feel good enough about themselves to go for it on a 4th and about 4.5. Just inside the Raider 45, right about the 44 is where the ball is spotted. 6:57 and counting to go in the first half. We'll say that little robot out there does a nice job on the logo. I like that a lot. Very clean.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what kind of formation. It looks like they're going to go for it. Are they trying to draw us off sides here, though? So we got to be disciplined, watch the ball, watch the hard count. Nope, they're going to throw.
Rear and
Got some
back
pressure.
up. The catch is made, hauled in by none other than Jeremiah Huntley.
He's their playmaker
Wow.
out there. That was, a phenomenal catch. Honestly, great defense. Colin Jess was, blanketed on him.
He had his paw right up in there. Huntley was still able to bring it down.
Yeah, strong hands. Schley, great throw, too. He didn't see the pressure, but there was pressure on his backside. He made a good throw. He's one of their forwards in basketball, an athletic, tough guy, rebounds hard, kind of in the middle of their chin offense. So he's an athlete.
They'll be squaring him up to play later on this season.
Yeah, they, like you mentioned, they have a really strong junior class, and a couple are out on the field, just athletic basketball guys and football players, just all-around athletes.
That was a phenomenal game last year, I will say. That was one of my favorite games to watch and broadcast when you guys traveled up there to Cheboygan. Great back-and-forth game.
There it
and
is. There it is. Oh, you
no,
almost owe me.
I almost had to get you that concrete mixer.
Man, I got excited. I was ready to tell you what flavor.
I was just going to say, what is your favorite flavor?
I'd go with that. The cookies and cream
Oh,
Oreo.
that's never bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Solid. So that'll be labeled as an incomplete pass. No loss of yardage there. So 2nd and 10 coming up.
So I'd have been even more disappointed if it looked like a fumble when it came up with it after they ruled that a forward pass.
So the Chiefs avoided a little bit of a problem there. As the clock just a hair above 5 minutes to go in the first half. Been a battle of the defensive so far this game. Apart from the 1 touchdown to open the game from the Chiefs.
There it is.
And the ball.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. Must have had some butter on it. Ryan Glass came down, was not able to get it back in his possession.
Ryan Glass is going to owe me a concrete mixer.
But for what it's worth, did lose about 4 yards there. So it'll be 3rd and about 14 to go.
That pitch at the high school level, in the veer and the option, it's high risk, high reward. If you hit it, you might score. If you don't, it's going the other way.
Schley comes out here with the marching orders. See what they have to do. 3rd and for the first time in my memory this game behind the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 15.
Got to watch 8 here.
Huntley already had one phenomenal catch just a few moments ago. Schley looking for a
pressure.
man.
Ooh.
Gets a good connection
Screen.
there right at the 40. Still going to 30.
Good tackle by Gary.
Nice chunk gained up there.
Gary Starrett with a nice tackle.
It'll be Dakota Witchlots there. Hauling that one in, gaining about 7 yards of the requisite 15. So it'll be 4th and a short 8 coming up here. .345 to go in the first half. Here comes the guilty party against the Raiders, Jeremiah Huntley, right there again to the bottom of your screen. Twins to the top.
They're running
That'll
up
be
the
run up
middle.
the gut.
Maybe
Yep,
get
that'll be
stuffed.
kept short. So the Raiders, for the first time this game, able to stand up strong on the line and stop a run on a 4th down, get the turnover.
Yeah, since the first drive, really, we've started to not control the line of scrimmage on the defensive end, but, you know, we're
certainly tightening up a little bit.
Yes, tightening up, getting a lot of resistance.
Mm-hmm. So we know the Raiders are well set on the defensive side of the ball. They've proved that the last 2 games so far. Now it'll just be a matter of figuring out some of the jitters here on the offensive side. As Colin Jess will give the handoff to Ian Moran. Nice run here with about 4 different Chiefs clinging on to him. That'll be close to the first down. We'll see what they measure.
You know,
Oof.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go right back to that. Like,
yeah, and they changed the spot.
I still go right back to it, even if it's 9-second and short.
So gave him an extra 3/4 of a yard, yeah. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 37. Good, solid run by Moran. And we'll do the same thing just as you called. A little bit shorter of a gain, though. Only a couple there, right up to about the 40.
Yeah, you keep pounding Moran, and then you got that pitch on the outside, or you got the counter. But that dive play right there, that power play sets up everything.
2nd and roughly 7 from the 40. 2:40 to go in the first half for the Raiders to try and tie or take the lead. It'll be a big shot downfield. That one overthrown again in front of Talon Jacobs. Mason Johnson was also there, not far from getting the interception.
Yeah, good ball. Pretty good coverage, though.
Yep.
All right,
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. The screen passes have been successful for us, but the guy we usually throw to is jogging off the field right now, Ian.
Mm-hmm. Taking his place will be Carter Greenacre there at the bottom of your screen. In 3rd and 7, that'll be a fake handoff. And we got Garrison Starrett, enough for the first down, and squirts ahead for a few more.
Now,
I see.
The fumble.
Raiders recovered it, though, so it'll advance.
But I believe you cannot fumble a ball forward. That's one of the new rules of the MHSA. Or maybe it's fumble it out of bounds forward. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the refs aren't aware of that. I don't know. But
I don't know if I think they marked it. But the ball didn't go out very far. It was maybe a yard or two. So it was very close.
And they may have called him down already by the time the ball went out. So, irregardless, 1st and 10 from the Cheboygan 47.5, we'll call it. Just looking for another pass. Greenacre attended.
Got him open.
And that'll be in front of him by about a foot. Good sportsmanship, though. I like to see this
75.
from David Chase.
Yeah, he's been solid out there on defense, putting pressure on Colin.
So we have 2nd and 10 coming up for the Raiders. 127 seconds to go in the first half. Moran comes back out, places Grayson Warchall. See what Jess can drop. It'll be another.
He kept it.
Yeah, fake. There he goes. Past the 40, the first down. Pushed out of bounds right around the 35.
This is one of our best drives of the game so far.
Yep. Sustained movement down the field. Knock on wood so far, no penalties. So Raiders get down to the Cheboygan 37. The closest they made it to the end zone was the 18-yard line on their 2nd drive.
You know what amazes me, Shane, is I don't even see you writing down notes. That's all from memory. The 18-yard line, all this.
Well, let me tell you, it was never as it's just from 5 years of doing this now. I was never this good a while ago.
Little counter.
Oh, there we go.
Titus.
Handoff. Titus, yes, indeed. Past the 25. And another first down for the Raiders.
Now the offense flowing. You get in on those dives. You start hitting the counters. Things start opening up. And Cheboygan's right now just trying to get to halftime. You know, thinking keep them out of the end zone, bend but not break.
Raiders plenty of time to work with as they get inside the 25, right about the 24 with 1:49 and counting to go in the first half. Again, if the Raiders come up a little bit short, they do have Peter Yanchulis there to possibly kick in the extra point, or the field goal rather. Just with the handoff, another solid run by Moran, still going, gets about 7 there.
The Raiders with 2 timeouts left. So clock management could come into play here.
Ball inside the 20 only for the second time this game. Marching band coming out here, getting ready to give their first show of the season. I do miss that down there, let me tell you. Sousaphone player alumni. It's a good group.
Counter.
And here we go. Garrison Sterrett, good gain. Gets inside the 15. It's the farthest the Raiders have made it so far this game. And it will be, at the moment, 3rd and about a foot, depending on the spot. The ref's checking it here once again.
They're short.
Yep, short by about a foot. Just under a minute to go as the clock starts winding down under a minute. And the whistles blow for timeout by the Chiefs. Take a moment to talk things over, and so we'll take a moment to talk to you, ladies and gentlemen. We have plenty of good sponsors here left to mention. First off, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport is your gateway to Northern Michigan, and now is the time to fly TVC. TVC Airport will also get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world with now 7 airlines and over 20 nonstop destinations. To plan your next getaway today, visit tvcairport.com. And speaking of flying, Skydive Charlevoix. What a great group that is. Skydive Charlevoix is calling all thrill seekers, adventure enthusiasts, and everyone in between to think Skydive Charlevoix for your next adventure. Take flight with Skydive Charlevoix and experience for yourself the rush of skydiving right in your own backyard. Check out their website for more information at skydivecharlevoix.com. Coming out of the timeout, Raiders 3rd and about a foot to go. Just a smidge inside the Cheboygan 15-yard line with 53.3 seconds to go in the half, trying to tie or take the lead before we go to the halftime break.
Pitch.
Yep, there we go. Landon Whistler, he's got a lane, falls in, touchdown, Charlevoix. Wow, there's some tenacity. I got chills after that drive. The Raiders not able to get anything to go their way the entire first half. The very last drive here of this one, Landon Whistler takes it in for about 15 yards to get the Raiders' first score of the game.
Big drive, capped off by a nice little pitch out there from Colin to Landon for the touchdown.
Peter Yanchulis lining up for the extra point. Ian Moran holding it down there for him. Kick up and away, and it's good. 7-6, Raiders take the lead. 45 seconds to go before the break. With that, we are going to take a moment to celebrate behind the scenes and step away for a quick commercial break. Don't go away. And coming back into this one, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Raiders had a very methodical drive, marching it all the way down. A good mix of pass and run plays. Just take the lead for the first time this game with 45 seconds to go in the first half, 7-6. Anthony, good showing of Raider tenacity and strength there to finally kind of put the pieces together and provide the best drive of the game so far.
Yeah, definitely. A couple key things is we never got behind the sticks. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot with any penalties, and the offense is flowing. We hitting Ian and then hitting the counters with Starrett, and then finally what capped it off was that little option there from Colin to Landon.
And we'll have a squibber. Yep. Bounces down to the 26. And that'll be a good place here for the Chiefs to begin well inside their own territory. Just about the farthest back on the field that they've started so far this game. So the Chiefs have just about 42 seconds to work with here.
And the rain is rolling in.
It is, yeah. So hopefully our cameras can stay relatively dry. These lake effect showers come and go. So hopefully this will be a quick shot of rain. Or else we might have a little bit of an issue.
The Cheboygan here, down one. Probably just play it safe.
Yep, we'll go for a run right up the gut. Of course, Ekdahl powering his way forward for a few. Call it about 2 yards. Rain coming down pretty hard right now as it blows across the field. Kind of swirling around a little bit. I see it blowing from left to right and then right to left on the other side. So wind not able to make up its mind, and, well, that'll be a bit problematic for our equipment here before long.
Yeah, it's really starting to come down. And it looks like we are going to halftime.
All right. So with that, the clock runs out. We're going to step aside here for our halftime break, provided to you by Charlevoix Auto, Martin Concrete, and Bartlett's Home Interiors. We'll be back in a few minutes with our halftime show. Stay tuned, but we're going to step aside for
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out on getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local dealership.
Today's game has been brought to you by Bingham Insurance Services, Charlevoix State Bank, Wilmot Electric, Charlevoix Auto, The Villager Pub, Swanson K&D, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Airport, Fresh Coast Sliders, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Ace Hardware, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, South Point Collision, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Culver's of Charlevoix, Skydive Charlevoix, BC Pizza, Great Lakes Asphalt Services, Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering, Charlevoix Barbershop, Professional Seamless Gutters, Spencer Bryan with Pat O'Brien Real Estate, Ward Marina. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Have you ever wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful canopy ride back to the landing area. Skydive Charlevoix also offers a scenic flight with every tandem jump. Enjoy an amazing bird's-eye view of Grand Traverse Bay, Little Traverse Bay, Beaver Island, and the entire northern Michigan shoreline. It's easy to book your jump online at skydivecharlevoix.com. That's skydivecharlevoix.com.
All right, guys, here's what we get.
BC Pizza, BC Pizza, hometown handmade gourmet.
Coach, what do we do? We get BC Pizza.
BC Pizza, BC Pizza.
Are you or someone you know in need of commercial, residential, or marine electrical work? Look no further than Charlevoix's best, Wilmot Electric. Serving our community for 35 years, Wilmot Electric has just what you need to keep you and your family safe year-round with their highly professional team that works hard to find a solution to all of your electrical needs. That's Wilmot Electric. Call them today at 231-547-5583 or visit them online at wilmotelectric.com. The Villager Pub has been a mainstay in Charlevoix dining culture for over 40 years. Situated right downtown, their friendly and experienced staff will make you feel right at home from the days of a bygone era. With a wide selection on tap and an expansive menu to pick from, sit back and relax in the pub and enjoy their eclectic 1950s era memorabilia. Stop in and see them today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online to look at their menu at thevillagerpub.com.
With unique gifts, home accessories, wedding items, and so much more, the Lake House on Bridge Street offers so many things to make your home or even your visit to Charlevoix that much more special. When you want beautiful items that reflect Charlevoix the beautiful, stop in or visit them online at thelakehousecharlevoix.com for your own keepsake and your own personal memory of Charlevoix.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Are you or someone you know in need of commercial, residential, or marine electrical work? Look no further than Charlevoix's best, Wilmot Electric. Serving our community for 35 years, Wilmot Electric has just what you need to keep you and your family safe year-round with their highly professional team that works hard to find a solution to all of your electrical needs. That's Wilmot Electric. Call them today at 231-547-5583 or visit them online at wilmotelectric.com. Are you or someone you know in need of commercial, residential, or marine electrical work? Look no further than Charlevoix's best, Wilmot Electric. Serving our community for 35 years, Wilmot Electric has just what you need to keep you and your family safe year-round.
Have you ever wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful canopy ride back to the landing area. Skydive Charlevoix also offers a scenic flight with every tandem jump. Enjoy an amazing bird's-eye view of Grand Traverse Bay, Little Traverse Bay, Beaver Island, and the entire northern Michigan shoreline. It's easy to book your jump online at skydivecharlevoix.com. That's skydivecharlevoix.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to our halftime break presented by Charlevoix Auto, Martin Concrete, and Bartlett's Home Interiors. First, we want to start off by thanking our friends at Charlevoix Auto. Charlevoix Auto wants everyone tuning in to know that they are your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Moke dealer. Drive with confidence. Choose Charlevoix Auto, your one-stop shop for exceptional sales and service. And we also take a moment to thank Wilmot Electric. Since 1983, Wilmot Electric Incorporated has been a gold standard service provider throughout northern Michigan, offering solutions to any electrical need you may have, whether it's residential, commercial, or marine related. No matter the case, Wilmot Electric has experts that will keep your projects on time and on budget. Customer focused and community driven for 40 years. That is Wilmot Electric. Well, Anthony, it's kind of a back and forth defensive battle so far in that first half. But the Raiders eventually put together a solid drive to end that half and go up on top by 1 after the Peter Yanchulis extra point kick, 7-6. A couple of highlights to your mind so far.
You know, early on it was their field position, and then, you know, Schlee with that quarterback keeper that kind of got them down near the end zone. And then we're a young team. We start, I believe, 6 sophomores in various positions, and you know, home game, second game of the season, we had, you know, just a few hiccups and we settled down. And that last drive was Raider football. You know, we're running the ball in the middle, we're going the outside, hitting the counter. So we kind of settled down there, and hopefully that drive continues into the second half. And Cheboygan, you know, they have a lot of weapons. Huntley on the outside is a threat, and then, you know, Ekdahl up the middle, and even Miller with his speed. So we got to shut down and limit the big plays in the second half. Well, what do you think, Shane?
Well, I'd have to agree with you, and it's just going to be a matter of building on the momentum that the Raiders created in the first half. As the rain comes back down, that's building momentum in once again. We just had a break there for a moment. But the Raiders, it was just a matter of seeing the ball go down the hill, so to speak. They were able to get a couple of good solid plays in, get a feel for the Chiefs' defense by the third and fourth drives, able to make some good plays there, a couple of screens, obviously good runs as well. And just the whole time, the Raiders were allowed to do this by standing up strong on the defensive side of the ball. Didn't allow pretty much anything other than 1 or 2 big catches there by Jeremiah Huntley, which you mentioned. And otherwise, just pretty much playing a good game at the line of scrimmage. So it was a battle back and forth the entire first half. Again, defensively, I thought at first the way these two teams played, it might be a high-scoring affair, but not so far in the first half anyway. So while we have 1:44 to go, they extended the clock. Both teams getting some more stretches in out there in the rain. We are going to take a moment because, my goodness, we do have a lot of fine sponsors here, a lot of bills to pay. It keeps us busy behind the scenes, doesn't it, Emma? So we want to take a moment here while we have a moment to thank BC Pizza. Fans all around, it's pizza time, and BC Pizza is making it easier than ever to get you and your family handmade hometown gourmet pizza from one and only BC Pizza right here in Charlevoix. You're also welcome to try their grinder salads and their other specialty pizzas. You'll know right away after the first bite, you made the best choice in pizza. That's BC Pizza of Charlevoix. Sky Media 45. Need to enhance your brand? Sky Media 45 combines excellent photography with post-production to create stunning video and content.
Don't let anybody.
Visit them Interiors, gosh, I always flub that word a little bit, for bringing you your halftime break right here in Charlevoix. So the Raiders, if my memory serves me correctly, will have the ball to begin the second half. I believe Cheboygan went down right away, or am I wrong on that, Anthony?
I believe we received the kickoff. It was the one that rolled down to about the one.
That is true, yep.
We had
okay.
a punt, gave them good field position. So I believe Cheboygan will start with the ball.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, for both teams, kind of key. This first possession is huge. You know, field position is always big, so special teams. But the Raiders, you know, got to keep keying in and doing their jobs in terms of stopping that veer offense. And Cheboygan's going to, you know, try to get something going. Starts with a dive, and then maybe, you know, the QB keeping it, reading the end, and going from there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, you know, use Huntley in the passing game a little too.
All right, with that, everyone gets squared away out here on the field. Yes, exactly. You're right. I completely forgot about the opening play of the game was Garrison Sterrett taking it at the 1-yard line to try and return it. So the Raiders will be kicking it off here again, up by only one, and we're going to flip-flop fields. Peter Yanchulis will be taking care of the kicking duties to begin the half. Ian Moran did that in the first half. He'll be taking over. Again, had that clean extra point. He's been, knock on wood, don't want to jinx anything, but 4 for 4 on those so far this season.
Yeah, both our punt and kick game is strong with Peter Yanchulis and Ian Moran, which always good to flip the field and, you know, in terms of field position, but the other team at a disadvantage through special teams.
Mason Johnson and Jeremiah Huntley back to receive, but they didn't need to off the squib kick, and the Chiefs will fall all over it right about the 35-yard line.
You know, as teams come onto the field for the second half, you know, up front is what's going to set the tone. Mentioned it before the game. The team that controls the line of scrimmage and the team that controls kind of the turnover battle, I feel, is going to be the team that comes out on top tonight.
Just heard the radio update from our counterpart nearby, Mike Grisdale, taking care of the Cheboygan radio duties. Tigers are up in the 5th inning, 5-4.
All right.
And that one batted around. Oh, my goodness. Not too far away from me giving you a concrete mixer.
Well, that's only if it's the pitch. So on the option.
Only the pitch. Okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
you
all right.
got the odds. I might owe you. So before the end of the game, I'm going to need to know what flavor you want.
Okay. Chocolate with strawberry pieces, cheesecake pieces.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry, Shane. I might have to go there after the game.
Yeah.
Culver's for the win.
It's nice and rich and decadent. I'll put it that way. So 2nd and 10, Huntley not able to haul that one in. So again, it'll be beginning right at the 35, and we get a good push forward here. The Chiefs getting south of the 40-yard line.
Ekdahl.
Yep, Ekdahl indeed. and brought down by too many Raiders to count, according to our PA announcer, Tom Schultz. Again, another fabulous teacher there, as I've got one right next to me, the gym teacher and varsity basketball coach Anthony Troshak. Tom Schultz, a phenomenal science teacher there. He actually won some pretty high-ranking awards this past summer.
Yeah, he's nominated for Teacher of the Year. Just a phenomenal teacher. He was my mentor. Continues to help me. Just love having Tom around. Pitch.
And pitch there. Picked up nicely. And that'll be enough for the first down. Killian Miller giving all he can there to move the chains.
Wow, that could have been a 5, 6 yards.
Yeah, right about 6, and Kalen Titus, number 7, was there on the tackle to keep this from getting any more. As the Chiefs approach midfield right now at about the 47. 10:56 to go in the third quarter. Twins to the top. And another pitch. That one's bobbled around. Oh, my gosh. The Raiders picked it up. Well, I think I owe you a concrete mixer now. I spoke too soon. All right. There we are.
Yep, with that pitch play, you run that risk. It's high risk, high reward, and they've put it on the ground, 2 or 3 times, because Ryan Glass jumped on that one and somehow scored it out earlier. So that was their at least second, if not third, fumble on that pitch. And I believe he was going to his left, so that's tough because he's a right-handed player, right-handed quarterback, and making that pitch to his left.
You know what? For me, that's worth the concrete mixer. The Raiders get it back at excellent field position at the 40. The best starting field position on a drive they've had so far today, and a good starting run by Ian Moran. He's still going, legs turning. He just has 2 men to beat, finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. Raiders coming out with a statement here to begin this second half.
Similar to how we started week 1. A little slow start, couple penalties, but then when we get rolling, things kind of fall into place.
So it'll be first and goal from the 8-yard line for Charlevoix. Jesse Pistol ran behind him, and no gain there on that play. Tribe of Chiefs took him down, so no gain again. So it's 2nd and 8 with 10 minutes to go exactly here in the third. In fact, actually, looks like they lost about a yard as it's at about the 9.5-yard line. The Chiefs standing strong at the moment in the red zone.
Counter.
There's Garrison Sterrett. No problem there. Waltzes that one right in. Raiders' second touchdown of the game.
That's the old faithful, that counter play. It was Patrick Sterrett, Logan Watkins, Garrison Sterrett.
Yeah.
And next to be Kalen Titus.
That's right. Boy, I got to tell you, brings back some fond memories of Logan Watkins and Patrick Sterrett the last couple of years. Nice to see that role being filled well with the youngest of the Sterrett family. As Jan Chulis will be going for the extra point here to put the Raiders up by 8. 14-6 if he can knock this one in. Seemed like at first we were having a sprinkler head pop up, but apparently not the case.
I wonder if they wanted to switch the footballs for the kick so it was easier on the snap and the catch if it was wet. Not sure.
Oh, that one's blocked. Raiders will pick it up there, blown dead. So the Raiders will remain within 7 points right now, 13-6. And we will step aside here for our first commercial break of the second half to thank our friends at Ace Hardware. Don't go anywhere.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Because there's a new camera link. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on. Raiders kicking off here, up by 7, 13-6. And Julius taking care of the boot once again.
Comes the squib. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, indeed. Rolling down inside the 30. The Raiders holding the Chiefs back the last 2 drives now inside the 35 to begin for them. Officially spotted at the 28 with 9:32 to go in the third. Raiders have extended the lead by 7, 13-6. First touchdown of the game. Earlier on in the end of the half. From a run, now Garrison Sterrett taking care of business on his own.
Now they're going to throw it.
That deep ball well overthrown by about 6 yards.
Yeah, even if he was open, there's no way he's catching it, but that coverage was there.
Good speed from Johnson, but there was absolutely no way. Pretty much any high schooler could have caught up with that one. So 2nd and 10. Raiders would love to see a 3-and-out here for the first time this game against the Chiefs. A couple receivers here to the bottom of your screen. And that was a good flick to Miller in motion. He's gaining a good chunk of that second down. He'll be about a yard short.
Yeah, if you're Cheboygan, I mean, you're getting Miller in space, and he is a threat. He's got speed. He runs hard. We've been fortunate enough, like on that pitch, to kind of contain him. But if he gets in the open, he's an athlete, and he can make some big plays for them.
This will be 3rd and a short one coming up here for the Chiefs right at the 37-yard line of their own.
Kind of loaded the box there. Ooh, Ekdahl squeaks through, though.
Yeah, powers his way forward. Gets the first down and adds about 5 to it. That'll bring the Chiefs right about to the 44. At least that's where the ref's at currently. So a gain of 5 on a needed 1-yard play. Just what you need for someone of that stature to power through. First and 10 from the Cheboygan, roughly 44.
Oh, busted
and
play.
Raiders, yes, wrapped up. Peter Jan-Chulis and Andrew Gogan coming off the pile. Good sack by the Raiders.
Yeah, it looked like a busted play. Schley looked to hand it off, and there was no one there. He had to kind of turn and ran. He found Jan-Chulis.
Yeah.
Jancho.
Excited to see him come up through the ranks on the basketball squad as well. He's
Me too. He's just a phenomenal kid, extremely hard worker, well coachable. He's a good leader, great student. So
good.
Lucky to have him.
So it'll be 2nd and 14 for the Chiefs. More pressure. 2 straight sacks for the Raiders. Yeah, Sawyer Blizek comes off excited after that one. That's some typical lineman excitement right there. Oh, my goodness. You can tell he's been around these football plays for a long, long time. Comes off on a hurry after that one. Still geeked in. That was a great sack by him. 3rd and 19 now for the Chiefs. The farthest behind the line of scrimmage they've been so far tonight. Right at the 35.
Lots to go. Oh, they got him on the wheel route.
The good catch made. That'll be enough for the first down. Finally tackled by Kalen Titus. A great haul in by Mason Johnson, but an excellent throw by Schley. I mean, that was right on the money.
Yeah, and a good adjustment by, who's number 1?
Johnson.
Yeah, and he's an athlete out there too. Just kind of made a play on that ball with that wheel route where they send the guy in the post, and then he follows behind him. So they needed that. I mean,
a 3rd
they were
and 19.
way behind the sticks.
Yep. I wonder if there was a flag we missed, because the ball is back at the 45.
He might have stepped out.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
I thought he was
going to the air again.
Another good connection this time with Huntley, and that's enough for a first down once again. Gain of about 14 there.
Yeah, I was wondering if they take kind of advantage of that little slant with our defensive backs playing off and their receivers having good size. And they did.
So with that, 2 big plays here, moves the Chiefs back from their own roughly 35-yard line now to the Raiders' 32 with 6 minutes flat to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, they are down 7 at the moment, 13-6. There's an early flag. It would be close to a Chiefs first down, depending on the result here.
Looks like it's going to be coming back.
We're still having a conversation about it. That'll be an illegal formation against the Chiefs. So it would have been close to a first down play, brought to you by Jack Ekdahl. Will be backed up by 5 behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, still remain first down. 5:48 to go in the 3rd. So the Raiders catching another break here with a couple of penalties here against the Chiefs as of their last couple of drives, including 2 on this one.
See if they bottom here. They go back that wheel route. And it's still only first down. They might just run it. Nope. They got the wheel route again. Middle's
Another
open.
good pass once again to Huntley. A bullet thrown by Schley. The ball's out, but it will be blown dead.
That was close. Yeah. I want to see that one on replay.
So does about half the Charlevoix stand.
The whistle might have blown it dead, but I don't know if he was down, but we'll have to check that one on replay. But great job by, I believe, Grayson Wartrell in there punching the ball, ripping it through, trying to cause the fumble, which he did.
So that gains about 12 of the needed 15 to get to the line of gain here for the Chiefs. 2nd and 3. The Raider 26, under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd.
There's the pitch, and it's on the ground again. You might know me too.
Oh my gosh, the Raiders piling all over it. I'm going to be out of money here after this game. And it is the Raiders' ball. Not once, but twice as the pitch caused a turnover for the Chiefs again on another good drive. Got within the Raider 30. And Charlevoix stands strong, able to get it back.
I mean, he's
you
going
got to be
his
feeling
right.
pretty proud of yourself right now.
You know, I'm not a football coach. I just question if you've that's like the 4th or 5th fumble on that pitch. Maybe you don't run it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anything.
I'm just a dummy up here calling what I say, so I don't know. But I'd have to agree, you know, after things fail more than 3-4 times, you'd probably want to err on the side of caution about doing it again. One thing.
Counter.
Yeah.
Stare it. Still turning those legs.
Gosh. Had to stare it through and through. Took just about the entire Chiefs squad to finally bring him down. And he does somehow eke out about 3 yards from that. It'll be a second and long 7 coming up here for the Raiders.
I think, you know, a nice long drive to wind down the 3rd quarter and punch it in the 4th quarter is just what the Raiders need here.
If the Raiders are able to do that and take a good chunk of clock.
Run by Moran.
Yep, he'll gain about 5 there. If the Raiders are able to do that and take off a good chunk of clock and score, leaving some probably 2 or 3 minutes taken out in the 4th as well, you'd like to think that would be pretty tough for the Chiefs to claw back from, considering the pace of scoring so far in this game.
Yeah, Ian's starting to wear them down. Same with our offensive line. Those big boys on front, and Sawyer, you know, and the Glass brothers. Got Grogan out there, Yanchulas. There he is again.
There you go. Moran kissing off the line, goes back around, changes course, and he'll have enough for the first down. Eli Chase there on the tackle to keep it from going any farther. The Raiders methodically again moving the ball down in 3 to 5 yard increments to about the 36 now of their own. 3:16 to go in the 3rd. I don't know, Anthony, but I'm hoping for some either scores to come up and stop the clock or some timeouts before long, because we have a lot of bills yet to pay. Ian Moran, he might have heard my wish, because away he goes off to the races once again to the 35, the 30, cuts around, finally pushed down at about the 25.
He's been the difference right now. His ability to run with power, with speed, athleticism. And then the line, obviously the line's wearing down. Cheboygan a little too.
Cheboygan won the line of scrimmage for the first quarter and a half of this game. Charlevoix since then has been really taking over as they work their way down off a big Ian Moran run to the 26 of the Chiefs. Another handoff up the gut. That's Warchaw.
Yeah, nice little change, give Ian a little break, and Warchaw comes in and picks up right where he left off.
Yep. Decent gain of 3 there. Gets the Raiders inside the 25. 2nd and 7. Raiders taking time to think this one over.
Got a quarterback tying a linesman's shoe.
There you go.
Getting him back, you know, for all those blocks that he throws.
Yeah.
That's
Works
love.
for me.
That's love.
Yep. A very tight-knit squad that this team is. Just
Counter
the fake
with
handoff gets it off to Sterrett. He'll advance the line of gain here as he falls inside the 15.
Looks like we have a timeout, Cheboygan. There you go.
Hey, there we go. We needed that one. All right, so we are going to step aside here for a quick break. and come back after this, after we hear from our friends at Bartlett's Home.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving Northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettshomeinteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home.
Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out on getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local.
And here we go after the quick break. Hand off to Ian Moran. Play is stopped. Looking to see a flag. I don't see one yet.
That was something. I don't know. A little confusion out there by everyone. They're looking down at the clock, and it's not running.
Okay, well.
Did they set the ball? And
well.
Did they change the downs? Nope, still first down.
Looks like we'll have a free do-over, whatever that was.
They might have not said it, and I don't know.
Yeah, no matter what, 1st and 10 right at the Chief 15-yard line. 1:56 to go in the third quarter. Handoff to Moran. Gains a few there, inches his way closer to the 10. The line of gain is right about the 4-yard line. Clock ticking, closer to a minute and a half to go. Raiders again chewing off a good portion of clock. Already closing in on about 4 minutes so far on this drive. Moran next to Jess. The handoff to Kalen Titus. He's working. Oh, he'll be caught up just short of the end zone. Good, powerful run by him to advance the chains and set the Raiders up at right about the 1-yard line.
Yep, keep winding this clock down. Get this drive to end the third, score in the fourth.
I'd like to think Ian Moran will poke his nose through. No, Cheboygan closes it.
Oh,
wait a minute, there it is. All right,
touchdown.
Delayed call, touchdown Raiders, third time. – 19-6, the Raiders on top, extend their lead. Grayson Warchaw coming out with some marching orders, replacing Moran, giving him a well-deserved rest after a very powerful drive. He was the leading factor in the Raiders getting their third touchdown.
Yeah, that, shows a lot of, that drive is classic Charlevoix football. Just kind of pound and ground, and, we're going to run it down your throat and be physical, tough, and great drive.
Oh. Jess throws that one. That'll be incomplete.
Intended for Greenacre, got tipped, and then kind of, it's like a ping pong.
Yeah.
Bouncing back and forth there.
Raiders 1 for 3 on their extra point attempts so far this game, so it will remain a 13-point, 19-6 lead. At least they are up by 2 possessions now, and we will keep it right here as we work our way towards the fourth quarter. Still just under a minute to go here in the third. We want to thank our fine friends at Ace Hardware. Charlevoix Ace Hardware is proud to continually be a supporter of Charlevoix schools, sports, and the community. The team at Ace Hardware loves Charlevoix, and they're always there when you need them. Open 7 days a week. That's Ace Hardware in Charlevoix. Also, we want to thank our good friends at the Lake House. From the moment you walk into the Lake House, the essence of easy living and life on the water shines through. They offer unique gifts, including home accessories and furry friend items. Their assortment of gifts and home decor is perfect for your home, cottage, or boat. Come visit the lake house to commemorate your visit to one of Michigan's premier resort destinations. They're located at 403 Bridge Street, or visit them online at thelakehouseCharlevoix.com. Now, I will say about the lake house, Eric Huffman, the owner and a fine resident here in Charlevoix, was supposed to be doing play-by-play for this game tonight. Unfortunately, his wife had to have a procedure done, so he's not able to be here tonight, but we wish his wife, Chris, all the best on her recovery. And Eric, thank you for being such a great member of the Next Level Broadcasting team. We can't wait to have you back in our ranks soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm honoring him and doing the best I can.
No,
here.
you're doing great. No, it was supposed
Big
to be you
shoes
and
to
him
fill.
tonight.
Ooh.
As Cheboygan, luckily for them, falls on that one as Yanchulis was closing in.
Yeah, we're just under 52 seconds left in the third quarter. This is a huge drive for Cheboygan because, one, offensive firepower last week and this week. You know, they've shown the ability to make a couple big plays, but sustaining drives has not been their strength. So if they can't score here, you know, and Charlevoix can get the ball back and eat some clock up, it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Not bad field position. 1st and 10 from their own 39.
Hand off to Miller. He squeaks out the outside, but
yeah, she's
Moran with the tackle.
Yep.
Moran just, you know, impacts that side of the field. Whatever side he's on, it is tough to run his way. He's strong. He's compact. He's athletic.
Yeah, and even with a number of Raiders closing in on him, he was still able to score out a good 4 yards there in that run.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough run.
Yeah. 24 seconds to go. Cheboygan see if they'll snap it and try and get a play off before the break, or if they're content to let it go.
15 clock is running.
Looks like they're
run it.
Yeah. Twins to the bottom here.
So you gotta watch that.
For. And it's going to be a pass play.
He's got 8
Huntley
open.
Is
He's got him open.
The catch is made.
And he's tough. And that's a great ball. Great route. Great ball.
Right at the buzzer to end the quarter. Like a good connection from Schley to Huntley will get the first down and march the Chiefs inside of Raider territory. We will step aside here as we go into the fourth quarter break and thank a couple more of our sponsors.
Hi there, Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com, or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
If there's a big happening, then we'll bring it in. And we're back in, ladies and gentlemen. Another great pass play from Schley, this time the jersey mix.
Yeah, we have not called his name
No.
tonight, but hey, he was ready to be called. He wasn't waiting for his opportunity. He was preparing for it.
Came out
He
in a
was-
big way here.
Stepped up.
Advances the Chiefs down 9 more yards.
While I have a second, I'm going to give a shout out to
Yeah.
Mitch Crandall. It's his birthday. Now, also Mr. Crandall,
Mr.
teaching in the 6th grade out there listening. He's been sending me some texts. So happy birthday, Mr. Crandall.
Yes, happy birthday indeed. Congratulations for becoming Mr., of course. And that'll be another handoff, this time to Miller. He powers his way forward, crashes down to the Raider 20.
Yeah, Mitch, all-state player under the legendary Coach Haskey.
Wow.
Took the team into the Breslin Center in 2000, maybe 8, I believe it was, 2008 or 2009.
Okay. Because remember, it was also back in, I was born on the 2004 trip to the Breslin Center.
Oh, right.
In between the semifinal and final game, I was born, so my parents, my dad, my grandparents came up, watched us get hatched, and then went right back down to East Lansing.
I love the dedication. I love it. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Shane.
So 1st and 10 from the Raider 21. Here we go. Chiefs making things a little more interesting, but, well.
Chiefs throwing their own counterplay.
Yeah, they were. That fooled me, I'll tell you. It'll be a 5-yard gain, looking to see who eventually had the ball.
So number 13? I think it was.
Yep, it is. Landon Gann. Good
Landon
eyes.
Gann, yeah. He's one of their athletes in basketball. Really good three-point shooter for them. Again, part of that strong junior class that they have.
Landon Gann, yeah, great sophomore. Played him or watched him play last year. There's a couple of twins on that basketball team that I'm pretty sure they were.
They might be brothers.
Brothers, okay, could be brothers. But I know that they were a good dynamic duo down there.
Oh,
a good throw by Schley, broken up by Mr. Jess. Yes, indeed. All right, a big moment here for Cheboygan. 3rd and 6 coming up for them. Just over 10 minutes to go. They really need to have a score on this drive in order to stick with the Raiders and keep it within one possession. Without a doubt, 2-down territory. Ball position currently at the 17-yard line. Again, 3rd and 6 from that point. 10-18 to go in the game.
I think you're right, Shane. I think now I just checked the scouting report. The Kiefer brothers are both tough.
Yeah, Kiefers, that's right. Yep. We got a flag here. It'll be a false start against the Chiefs. I believe that's the first time we've seen a false start from them so far today. We did see an illegal motion earlier, but first false start of the game for them. So that gives a little more breathing room for the Raider defense, pushes them back outside the Raider 20. Make it 3rd and 11 from the, looks like, roughly 22-yard line. Maybe 23.
3rd and 11, they're in 2-down territory, so they're looking to pick up a chunk of yardage here. Obviously, they'd like a first down, but if not, they just want to move closer to the first down marker, make it manageable 4th down here.
Another good pass. That one a little underthrown, just gets past Huntley.
Yeah, he threw it just a little before Huntley made his break, and like you said, it was a little underthrown, so he couldn't really get his eyes on it as he turned around.
So this may be do or don't time for the Chiefs. Under 10 minutes to go, 4th and 11. The Raiders have scored each time on their last 2 drives.
This is a key play here. We got a sponsor for a key play?
We don't.
We need like a automotive key play or something. There we go.
Got a full receiving core to the right. Rearing back, Schley, the deep ball over the head of Huntley in the end zone. Raider defense holds up strong.
He just kind of reared back and chucked that one, and he threw a great ball just out of his reach.
So the Raiders force yet another turnover on downs. And with a chance to ice the game away here, if they can chew off a solid 3-4 minutes of clock with about 78 yards of field to work with. The Raiders started out slow, not able to get a score on their opening 3 drives. And their last 3 drives since have made a touchdown in every one.
Ian Moran.
Get another good break. Yes, indeed.
Got a little space. Line opened up a great hole. And, you know, every time you do that, Ian's going to just eat up yardage.
Be just short of the first down by about a yard. So it's 2nd and 9 from the Raider 32. Clock continues winding down. Caitlin Titus comes back out to join the fracas. Twins to the top and bottom.
You know, if the Raiders, you want to make sure ball security is important right now, and just keep doing what you're doing, which is opening up holes and
my goodness,
handing the ball off to Ian Moran.
You don't have to worry about throwing it when you have Ian Moran performing at the rate that he is. Another first down for the Raiders. Gets it to the south side of the 35-yard line. Clock continuing to go, under 9 minutes now in the game.
The clock is our friend right now.
Yeah, well, our friend for the Raiders, not our friend for Next Level Broadcasting.
Yeah, you know, there's no the early season, usually you have some injury timeouts for those cramps. I've seen one player cramp up, and it was at the end of the third. So no stoppage there either.
Nope.
Titus, little
good job there by
counter.
Titus.
He's got some room.
Oh, my goodness. Can he get around him? A good block there, but there is, gets tripped up at the last minute by a shoelace grab. He somersaults down to about the 37.
Shout out to Peter Yanchulis out there, you know, making blocks 10, 12 yards downfield. Just a great run by Kalen Titus.
Boy, that young man is quick.
Yeah, like I said, Patrick Starrett, Logan Watkins. We got Gary Starrett, and he's the next in line. There's also a speedster at the JV level in Reagan Swadling.
Okay, good.
He might be the fastest one we have in the school.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, we're excited to see him come up next year then. The Raiders with a clean set of downs at the Cheboygan 38. Jess will hang on to this, yep. And he somehow avoids one tackle. Maybe gets back up to the line of scrimmage, if not a yard gained at most. It will be a yard gain, so second, well, at a very long night. Jess will hand that off once again. Up the gut we go. Breaks away Moran for another 17-yard gain.
The physicality, the weight room, the conditioning, you know, that's starting to play a factor. And just the mental part of the game right now, if you're Cheboygan, you know, it's tough when they're picking up 6, 8 yards a pop.
Yep. Mr. Titus working his way back out again. Ian Moran, powerful. Kalen Titus, quick, that's for sure. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Raiders have already chewed off nearly 3 minutes on this drive alone. Yeah, and here we go. Titus! Oh,
get in there, get in there.
And he is not in. Short by a yard. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, man. Titus knocking on the doorstep twice so far this game. Brought down inside the 5 on 2 different drives. Not able to punch it in. This ball sits about 1 foot short of the goal line. Excellent run by him, though. A lot to be proud of as he trots off the field. Ian Moran will be stationed behind Jess, likely to clean this up. Under 6.5 to go in the game.
Why not? There. Oh, fumble.
Wait a minute. Sheboygan.
They
look excited.
Unless
We're waiting
they
for the
blew it
call.
dead, that's a fumble, and that's Sheboygan ball.
Wow.
The officials are going to huddle up. So unless they saw something I didn't.
I say they haven't made the official call yet. We can all but conclude that they did as they converse about it here again. That was at the 1 yard line. There it is. So, Kalen Titus delivers the mail down to the 1 yard line. Charlevoix bobbles it right there on the doorstep of icing this game away. The Chiefs keep their hopes alive, although they have 99 yards to get a score up on the board. It'd be their first since the opening drive of the game with 6:18 to go.
Got to get this out of this end zone, avoid a safety here. Got to bring the blitz. You give it to Echtel? Nope, that's Miller. You know, Cheboygan, they're a solid team. I think they're going to have a good year. You know, they picked up that win against Sault Ste. Marie. Looking at their schedule, they got Boyne City next week, who, last I checked, they were up 14-0 on Elk Rapids at half. And then after that, they got Elk Rapids. So I think that Boyne City game will be tough for them. I think that Elk Rapids game is going to be wide open for them. Yeah. And then I don't know much about Escanaba.
I'm excited for that game. I watched Escanaba come down and play in the Lower Peninsula last year. They have some good playmakers. A good, solid quarterback. So I'm excited to see how that game goes. Another good, large school test here for Cheboygan.
He's got some speed and some space.
Yeah. Oof,
oh, somebody comes up and makes
a
tackle. Woo, Landon. Was that Whistler? Still down, though.
Looking to see the number.
Or Gary Sterrett.
Yeah, that'll be Garrison Sterrett there.
Well, hoping it's just kind of the wind knocked out of him. But hey, time to read.
Yeah, it is time to read. Not that we want to use a moment of pain as a time to get some money in. That'd be like that Burger King commercial from a couple of years ago. But we do want to thank a couple of our friends here, Martin Concrete, as we hopefully can pan the camera away from the action down there. Do we have another shot? Nope. All right. Well, real quick. There we are. As he does come back up. Martin Concrete, looking for concrete work done right, then look no further than Charlevoix's very own Martin Concrete. Concrete patios, footings, foundations, and so much more. But don't just take our word for it. See for yourself by visiting their website online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com. They are your concrete specialists. And we also want to thank Grey Gables. Grey Gables Restaurant and Catering takes pride in featuring a new Hunt's dining experience in Charlevoix since 1936. A modern twist on an elegant bliss awaits you as you set foot into the Grey Gables located on 308 Belvedere Avenue. And even if you want more, you can ask them about their catering options for a special event such as a grad party, wedding, or family get-together. That's Grey Gables in Charlevoix. Well, I have to tell you, that collision, and it was a hard one, took out a Chief and a Raider simultaneously.
Oh, I didn't see the Chief.
Yeah,
had to step out.
The Chiefs there, they were all knelt down waiting for one of their players to get up off the ground as well.
Yeah, looking at Cheboygan's schedule, they rounded out with interesting Fowlerville.
Oh,
here,
okay.
We'll let this play roll.
I don't know much about them, but it'll be another deep ball. Looked like
there
was a tip on it. Kalen Titus nearly came down with the interception.
Yeah, Fowlerville's down by my stomping grounds off I-96 there.
Okay.
Near Lansing and Okemos and Williamston. So it's quite the hike.
Yeah.
And then they play New Lothrop, who's also, you know, they won a Division 7 or Division 8 championship within the last 10 years. They've been there. They're a solid program. I don't think they've been as good as they are. I don't think they're as good this year as they have been, but they're always tough. So it's kind of an interesting schedule for them.
And good for the Chiefs for loading up for a strong season here. Obviously, they have plenty of athletes, just not quite able to put things together so far in this game. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop, and who knows, might run into them later on in the postseason. Rearing back for another good throw. This one will be caught by Johnson. And that'll get past the 35, 5:08 to go.
They have weapons on the outside, but they have to go here. You know, time is not their friend.
No.
You're going to have to get some chunk plays down the yard and down the field in Charlevoix. Obviously, they don't want to give up the big plays. They want to keep everything in front of them.
Kalen Titus there on the tackle for the Raiders. 5 minutes even to go in the game. Chiefs really need to move things along. They still have 63 yards to go. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Another big pass coming up.
Oh,
and
good.
Knocked away there. Excellent job.
Morgan.
Yes. Haven't called his name much tonight, but he knocks a big one.
Makes the most of his opportunity.
Good coverage by him. 2nd and 10. 4:38 to go in the game.
you know, we're starting to bring a little blitz. Warchel on that last one. It was picked up by the fullback, but that pressure, you know, kind of threw off that pass, throwing off his back foot.
Ekdahl looking to try and push it through.
And Warchel
trips up the big man. Only gain of about 3 as they mark it right at the 40. It'll be 3rd and 7, 4:22 to go. The clock has stopped for a moment there. It picks back up. Must have been a little glitch there on the board. Continues at 4:15. Another short pass. Huntley drops it. Right there on the coverage was Doug Morgridge once again.
Yeah, you know, he's pretty sure-handed, so that was a little tougher of a catch, but definitely one that, you know, he has the capability of bringing in.
And he's walking along with a little hitch in his get-along here. They may want to pull him off and reserve him for later instances. Yes, he does. He goes off to the sideline. His work here is likely done for the night. Save him for other games down the line. Make sure he doesn't get injured. We've got Andrew Glass coming back out into the fray.
As this clock's rolling down, we probably should discuss our Culver's player of the game, correct, Shane?
I was thinking about doing it so we keep it under wraps during our next commercial break.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the way you think.
So 4th and 8, do or die time for Elk Rapids. Eckley to Johnson. Good catch there. That'll be enough.
Keeps
just by a yard
alive
for the first down. Yes, indeed. 9-yard gain on 8 yards needed. Doug Morgridge there keeps the play from going any farther downfield. Chiefs setting up shop right here at the 48. No timeouts taken so far from the orange and black.
He's got some backside pressure. He's got some pressure in his face.
That one would have been out of bounds anyway. Gets past Jersey Mix. With a lot of pressure being put on Schley here. They're resulting to all pass plays except the one run a moment ago by Ekdahl. 3:46 to go in the game. No, yeah, it is supposed to be second down here. They have
Both
not
the
changed
marker and the
marker.
board say first. It's
Well,
been a long week, maybe. I thought I was losing my mind. Ooh.
Johnson
Wow.
looks like he was able to wrangle that one in. Gets another first down. Didn't matter what the marker was at. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Great throw, great catch. As Cheboygan's moving the ball down the field. We got to keep him out of the end zone here.
Mhm.
Kind of bend but not break. Put some pressure on the quarterback here.
Got a couple of great playmakers so far between Johnson and Huntley. They've been really carrying the weight of this team on their back on this drive. Keeping a glimmer of hope for them. We have a whistle blown timeout taken by Charlevoix. We are going to step away and get some much needed bills paid for. The Villager Pub has been a mainstay in Charlevoix dining culture for over 40 years. Situated right downtown, their friendly and experienced staff will make you feel right at home from the days of a bygone era. With a wide selection on tap and an expansive menu to pick from, sit back and relax in the pub and enjoy their eclectic 1950s era memorabilia. Stop in and see them today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online to look at their menu at thevillagerpub.com.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving Northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettshomeinteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
And here we are coming back into this one. 3:38 to go in the game. Cheboygan making a nice march down the field, but it's Becoming very short time. Huntley grabs that one out of the sky.
Interesting.
With
a lot of traffic over there, and he just went up and made a great catch.
Morgridge hanging all over him. Gets about 2.5 feet in the air. Grabs that one up and keeps the drive alive. 5 yards gained there. Chiefs getting quickly back to the line.
Got some time. Ooh.
Batted down.
Great defense over there. Whistler.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, that was number 3, Landon Whistler. Yep. We're holding at 3:09 to go in the game. Still 3rd and 5. Chiefs positioned at the Raider 31.
Third and 5 here. You know, Cheboygan's looking for that first down. Obviously, time, field position, it's 4 down. But, you know, the most important thing is probably they're picking up this first down right here. They got to hustle a little. There we go. They got to get going, though.
3rd and 5. The big play coming. Huntley gathers it up, gets the first down, goes out of bounds.
He's tough.
Yeah, he is. Excellent receiver here for the Chiefs. And while we have a moment with the clock stopping, we saw a big collision earlier, and we want to thank our friends at South Point Collision. It's football season in Northern Michigan, and that also means it's deer season. So if you, a family member, or your son or daughter happen to get a deer, not in the woods, but instead in the middle of the road, head on into South Point Collision, and they'll take $100 off your auto repair simply by mentioning this ad on Next Level Broadcasting. South Point Collision wants to keep you having fun in the football season and keep you on the road during deer season. 1st and 10, 22-yard line. And that'll be a sack. A couple different Raiders at the far side of the field here.
Looks
About
like
a yard
Sawyer
lost.
Plaschik and Andrew Grogan.
Exactly right there on the call. Should be a loss of 2, 2nd and 12, 2:37 to go in the game. Just one receiver to the top and bottom. That one, I think Raider might have gotten a paw on it as it wobbled its way into the grass. Bartlett's Home Interiors, celebrating 75 years of serving Northern Michigan. The best selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments have been at Bartlett's. Bartlett's Home Interiors is a name you can trust for all your projects, big or small. See for yourself at their 35,000 square foot showroom in Charlevoix or online at bartlettsHomeInteriors.com. Third and 12, 2:28 in the game at the 25-yard line. Raiders still up by 2 scores. A miracle needed for the Chiefs as they're down 19-6, have not scored again since that opening play of the game. A good catch there, but right on it was a Raider looking for his number. There's Colin Jess. I apologize. Garrison Sterrett.
Garrison Sterrett.
The number flashed in my head, so did the name, and my brain or mouth said something different. Okay. The rain comes down once again.
That's going to make it more difficult for the Chiefs' hopes here.
Schley lets a duck go.
Oh.
Nearly one-hand grab there from Mix. Wait, is
it intercepted?
No. Ref.
Or they can say it's down. And then we got player cramping.
Oh. Well, while we have one more moment, hopefully we can. Never mind. We want to thank our friends at Villager Pub. Thankfully, the cramp was pretty quick, so we didn't have to pan the camera away. We want to thank the Villager Pub. I'm in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen. They've been a cornerstone in downtown Charlevoix for over 40 years with their wide-ranging menu and an electric atmosphere from a bygone era. It is the perfect place to bring your family, a date, or anyone to relax, unwind, and enjoy a tasty meal cooked and served by their experienced and friendly staff. Visit the Villager Pub today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online at thevillagerpub.com. So the Raiders have it back, minute 55 to go in the game. Couple of plays, and they can call this one over. Charlevoix in the spread. Up the center we go with Ian Moran. Why not? Gains a couple on a pleasant golf clap from the Raiders stands. It'll be 2nd and 10. Minute 40 to go. The rain coming down sideways.
Well, Shane, what else do we have to cap as we watch the clock run down on what seems to be a Raider victory?
Depending on if we have a moment for another commercial break before the end of the game, we'll do our Culver's concrete mixer play of the game. But if not, we'll do that in our post-game show.
Got the up the middle.
Oh, there's Ian Moran.
Running over.
Got the first down, and that will take care of it here for the Raiders. With 60 seconds left to go, they won't have to move any farther up the field. And I'm sure everyone's pretty excited to get out of here, as this is now the 3rd bout of heavy rain we've had. And it's not exactly entirely that warm either, hovering right around 45 degrees. .35 seconds to go. There's the snap, the kneel, and the Raiders have earned their 2nd straight victory of the season. 19-6. A slow start to this game allowed the Raiders to get the defense of Cheboygan figured out, and on 3 straight drives, scored a touchdown, putting this one away by the early 4th quarter. 19-6 is your final score here in Charlevoix, as the Chiefs look to advance on. We'll get their schedule here remaining in the post-game show, and we'll preview Charlevoix's next game as well as the Culver's Concrete Mixer Player of the Game Award. A few things to come up here in your post-game show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com, or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Gray Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan beers on tap and an excellent bourbon selection. Did you know we also cater? Let Gray Gables enhance your next event with our catering services.
Come dine with us at the Gray Gables Restaurant in Charlevoix the Beautiful.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And coming back in, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep it right here for... Unfortunately, the rain is coming down so hard, our camera kind of turned off for a brief second. So we're going to try and wrap this up pretty quick here in our Gray Gable and South Point Collision post-game show. So, Anthony, we came to a pretty quick conclusion that as the rain comes down there very hard, that our Culver's concrete mixer player of the game is none other than Ian Moran.
Yes, the workhorse for the Raiders tonight. Not only offense in the line, we can't leave them out. Did a great job. Are we here?
Yeah, we're going to turn over here. Yeah.
Sweet. Did a great job opening up holes for him, and he made the most of it. But he's just a powerful runner, an athlete, and even equally important on defense. Setting that edge is extremely important. Limited Cheboygan's run game. Limited them to get to the outside. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Ian Moran and obviously the offensive line should get some credit too.
No doubt about it. And Ian Moran isn't the only winner of a concrete mixer. This guy here, he won the bet, so I gotta get him one. What's the flavor again? Cookies and cream?
Yes.
All right, so we'll be getting that to you here promptly after the game. But in the meantime, we want to congratulate the Raiders once again, going 2-0 to begin the season, and we want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors one last time. That's Charlevoix Barber, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Auto, Jim Reel Ford, Professional Seamless Gutters, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Airport, Bingham Insurance, The Villager Pub, Charlevoix State Bank, South Point Collision, Fresh Coast Sliders, Skydive, Charlevoix, Wilmot Electric, Swanson K&D, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Ace Hardware, Spencer Bryan Realty, Great Lakes Asphalt, Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering, and BC Pizza. So for all of us here at Next Level Broadcasting, battling the rain, especially our cameraman there behind the lens running the sideline shot, Ron Lugin, we got Burr Aubrey right down there running our main camera, those two guys battling the elements tonight. And the three of us here, high and dry, Emma Brown, Anthony Troshak, and myself, Shane Smith. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you right in here again next week. Have a great night.
Now's the time to fly.
Today's game has been brought to you by Bingham Insurance Services, Charlevoix State Bank, Wilmot Electric, Charlevoix Auto, The Villager Pub, Swanson K&D, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Airport, Fresh Coast Sliders, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Ace Hardware, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, South Point Collision, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Culver's of Charlevoix, Skydive Charlevoix, BC Pizza, Great Lakes Asphalt Services, Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering, Charlevoix Barbershop, Professional Seamless Gutters, Spencer Bryan with Pat O'Brien Real Estate, Ward Marina. We hope you are enjoying tonight's game.